Hi, welcome back. This is Professor Ramakrishna. Welcome to my YouTube channel Archiversity. In my previous lecture, I explained you the basic ledger postings, in the sense how to post journal transactions into ledger, where we used the basic examples. In this lecture, we'll move a little ahead and we use some advanced financial transactions and try to create or try to generalize those transactions and then post those transactions into different ledger accounts. As you are familiar with ledger accounts, just I would like to revise it. A ledger account is a summary of a similar transactions or related to a particular account. In the sense, let us say you have a sales, then all the financial transactions related to sales are recorded at one place, that is a sales account. And when it comes to the purchases, all the transactions related to purchase, whether it is a cash purchase or credit purchase, recorded into one book called as the purchases. Then you will have a debtors account, then you have a creditors account, then you have a cash ledger, then you have a bank ledger. Likewise, for every similar kind of activity, that is a set of activities, we create separate ledger accounts. So without any delay, now we move to generalize few advanced financial transactions and then how to post them into different ledger books. Here we have a set of financial transactions using which first we generalize these transactions, then post them into appropriate ledger accounts. The first one is goods purchased from Kunal. So purchases is one account and Kunal is another account. So purchases is your expenses and Kunal, as you purchased on a credit, so this is a liability. And there is an increase in expense, then there is an increase in a liability. So increase in expense, your rule of a debit and credit is debit. Increase in a liability, this is a credit. So our transaction, that is a general transaction, will be on October 1st, purchases account debtor to Kunal account, and the amount is rupees 2 lakhs. So here we have a two accounts. One is a purchases account and second one is a Kunal account. So we created two different ledger books. One is for purchases and second is for Kunal. So we'll write Kunal account and purchases account. So this will have a debit and credit. So debit and credit. As the purchases, that is expenditure, increase, so we'll write onto the debit side. So we write as a where from we bought the goods, from Kunal and 2 lakhs. And Kunal is a liability and increase in liability is a credit side. So we'll write a Kunal and here purchases and the amount is 2 lakhs. Next, on October 2nd, goods returned to Kunal. So here what is happening? So your expenditure is one and Kunal is another. Kunal is a liability. There is a decrease in a liability and also decrease in your expenditure. Why decrease in liability is, now as you are returning a goods to Kunal, you don't need to pay this amount of rupees 10,000. Similarly, from the purchases that you made of a 2 lakhs, now you are returning the 10,000. So this amount is also need not to be paid. So decrease in, now expenditure decrease is a credit and liability decrease is a debit. Now the entry, that is a general transaction on October 2nd, is Kunal account debtor to purchase returns, or sometimes we say that return outwards also. Return outwards, because when you are making a purchase, you are bringing those goods from the outside. So now you are returning outside. So the amount is 10,000 and 10,000. So already we have a Kunal account. So in a Kunal account, now what is happening? The liability is decreasing. So here we'll write a returns and the amount is 10,000. Now for purchase returns, we create a new account. Purchase returns, or we can say that returns outwards, we'll create a new account. And here, as there is expenditure is decreasing, we'll write it onto the credit side. So here we'll write a Kunal and the amount is rupees 10,000. Now on October 3rd, paid cash to Kunal, that is rupees 1,80,500, and discount received is 9,500. So your cash is an asset. So Kunal is a liability, and a discount received, so it is an income because you are receiving a discount. So you can say that income, or we can say that revenue. So cash, this is increase, liability decrease, and revenue increase. Sorry, you are paying a cash, right? So paid cash, so you are paying a cash, asset decreases and liability will also decrease, then your revenue will increase. Now your general transaction is that, so decrease in a liability is debit, decrease in asset is a credit, and increase in a revenue is credit. So your transaction is Kunal account debtor to cash account to discount account or discount received account, because we'll create a separate account for discount received and discount paid. So how much amount that we have to pay to the Kunal? Actually 20,000, 2 lakhs is the amount, and from that we returned 10,000, so 1,90,000. So 1,90,000 is the amount to be paid. And how much cash we paid? 1,80,500 cash we paid, and 9,500 discount we received. Now already we have a Kunal account. So here Kunal account, liability decrease. So here we write a cash 1,90,000. Now we create another account for our cash. Cash is a debit and credit. So here what is happening to our cash? Cash is cash, that is asset, is decreased, so credit. So here we'll write a Kunal and the amount is 1,90,000. Then we'll create another account for discount received. So discount received, debit and credit. Discount received is your revenue, and your received, so received from whom? Received discount from Kunal, and the amount is 9,500. So here cash paid to Kunal is not 1,90,000, this is 1,80,500. This is the cash amount we paid to Kunal. Next, on October 4th, goods sold to Satyam rupees 3 lakhs. So one is your sales and second one is a Satyam. So sales is your revenue, Satyam your receivable, that is your receivables or your asset. So what is happening with your asset? There is an increase in asset. Revenue also, there is an increase in the revenue. So increase in revenue is credit, increase in asset is debit. So our transaction in general is Satyam account debtor to sales account, and the amount is rupees 3 lakhs. Now we don't have these two accounts, so we'll create two different accounts. Now one is Satyam account. So Satyam account is an asset, that is you have to receive, and there is an increase in asset. So we'll write on a debit side, that is a sales 3 lakhs. And next we have a sales is a revenue, and increase in a sales, increase in the revenue is your credit. So to whom you made a sales? Satyam, and amount is rupees 3 lakhs. Now on October 5th, goods returned by Satyam. So what is happening here? Your sales, that is the sales, are decreasing and your asset is also decreasing. That is, sales returns is your revenue, there is a decrease, and asset, there is a decrease. So decrease in asset is credit, decrease in revenue is debit. Now what is that we do is we create a separate account for this, sales returns account, or we can say that return inwards also, to Satyam account, and 20,000 here, 20,000 here. So already we have a Satyam account. So here we have a Satyam account, there is a decrease. So this is returns and 20,000 or 30,000, 20,000, yeah. Then we have another book called as sales returns account. So debit side and credit side, we'll write we received goods returned from Satyam, so 20,000. Now on October 6th, received cash from Satyam. So cash is an asset, Satyam is also an asset, and here you allowed a discount. So discount allowed is there is a decrease in revenue. So discount allowed is a revenue decrease, increase in asset, decrease in asset. So increase in asset is debit, decrease in asset is credit, and then decrease in revenue is debit. So we'll write a transaction like this, that is cash account debtor, then discount allowed account debtor to Satyam account. So initially we made a sale of rupees 3 lakhs to Satyam. From that 20,000 is sales returns. So that is 3 lakhs minus 20,000. So the amount that is to be received from Satyam is 2,80,000. We'll write 2,80,000 here. And in this, how much discount we allowed? We allowed a discount of 14,000 and received a cash of rupees 2,66,000. Cash is received. So here we have a cash and a discount allowed. So already we have a cash account. So we go to the cash and we received cash. There is an increase from Satyam, 2,66,000. And in a Satyam account, he paid the cash, or we can say that Satyam account liability. Sorry, Satyam account is an asset. There is a decrease in asset, credit. So by cash and 2,66,000. And he received a discount 14,000. Now we'll create another account for discount allowed. So debit and credit. When you allow a discount, your revenue will decrease. So decrease in the revenue is debit. So here to whom you give a discount? To Satyam. And this amount is 14,000 is the discount given to Satyam. Next, on October 10th, borrowed short-term cash loan from Roy, rupees 2 lakhs. So here two accounts. One is a cash, is an asset, and from whom you bought Roy, this is a liability because you have to pay him. So there is an increase in asset. There is also increase in a liability. So increase in asset is debit and increase in a liability is credit. So we write a transaction as cash account debtor to ROI account, and the amount is 2 lakhs. Now already we have a cash account and which is increasing by 2 lakhs. So cash account increase in a cash is a debit. So where from you are getting? You are getting it from ROI, and the amount is 2 lakhs if I'm not wrong. Yeah. And you have to create a separate account for ROI. ROI account is a liability, and as there is an increase in a liability, we write it on a credit side, that is a short-term loan, and the amount is rupees 2 lakhs. Next, on October 12th, deposited cash in SBI current account. So one is a cash, is an asset. Your bank account is also an asset because you are depositing your money there. So increase in bank balance and a decrease in a cash value. So this account is debit and this is a credit. So your transaction will be SBI account debtor to cash account, and the amount is rupees 2 lakhs. So what is happening to your cash? Decrease in a cash. So decrease in a cash is credit. So we'll go to the cash account, and here we'll write a SBI, and the amount is 2 lakhs. And as of now we don't have any bank account, so we'll create a one bank account for SBI. This SBI account. So debit and credit. So SBI account is increased, that is your asset is increased by cash of rupees 2 lakhs. So we'll write on a debit side. Then on October 15th, paid insurance by SBI check. So your insurance is expenditure, bank is your asset. So increase in expenditure, decrease in asset. So increase in expenditure is debit and a decrease in your asset is credit. So you will write a transaction as insurance account debtor to SBI account, and the amount is 18,000. So we already have a SBI account. So SBI account is decreasing by how much of amount? 18,000. So here we have a SBI account and it is decrease in asset, so credit side, and this is insurance and 18,000, and we don't have an insurance account, so we'll create insurance account. So insurance is an expenditure, debit side and credit side. Increase in expenditure is a debit, so here we paid it from SBI account and amount is 18,000. Now coming to October 20 transaction. On October 20, dividend from Reliance Industries credited to SBI account rupees 10,000. So dividend is your income, or you can say revenue. SBI account is your asset. So there is an increase in a revenue, increase in asset. So increase in asset is debit, increase in revenue is credit. So our journal entry is SBI account debtor to dividend received account, and how much is the amount? 10,000. So 10,000. Now already we have a SBI account, so this is increase in your asset. So increase in asset is a debit. So simply go to SBI account, then here we'll write dividend received 10,000, and we'll create a new account for a dividend received. So dividend received is an income. So increase in income is credit, and this amount you deposited in SBI. So this is a 10,000. Next, on October 21st, purchased goods from Umang rupees 60,000. So one is your purchases, second one is a Umang. So as we are mentioning the name of the Umang, this means we are making a credit purchase. So purchases is an expenditure. Umang, you have to pay him, so this is a liability. So increase in expenditure, increase in a liability. So increase in liability is credit and increase in expenditure is a debit. So we write a transaction like this: purchases account debtor to Umang account. So amount is 60,000. I guess we already have a purchases account. We'll check and we post this transaction in a purchases account. So purchases account, let us see here. Yeah, we have a purchases here and the purchases increase. So here we have a purchases, and from a purchases your increase in expenditure is a debit. So here Umang and the amount is 60,000. And we don't have a Umang account, so we'll create one account for Umang account. So this is a liability and increase in a liability is your credit. So here purchases and the amount is rupees 60,000. And here is the final transaction for the month. On October 25th, paid to Umang through SBI check rupees 57,000 in full settlement. So how much amount we have to pay to Umang? 60,000. And how much we paid? 57,000. What about the remaining 3,000? So this remaining 3,000 is discount received, because you bought a goods from Umang, so this is a discount received. Now here Umang is a liability, then SBI is your asset, then discount received is your revenue, or let us say income. So increase in income, then liability, decrease in a liability, asset also there is a decrease in your asset. So decrease in liability is debit, decrease in asset is credit, and increase in a revenue is again a credit. So we'll write a transaction as Umang account debtor. So what is the total amount that we have to pay to Umang? 60,000. We'll write 60,000 here. And in this we paid in the form of a cash. How much? 57,000. And to discount received is 3,000. So this is a total is a 60,000. Now we have a Umang account is already there, cash account is also there, and discount received account is also there. So we simply post these transactions in those different accounts. So we'll see here Umang account. Now it's a liability, decrease in a liability. So we write this as a debit side, cash 57,000, and he gave us a discount of a 3,000. Now we paid him through SBI check. So here Umang, and we paid him amount of rupees 57,000. And where is our discount received? So here we have a discount received from Umang, and the amount is 3,000. That means this transaction has got a 3 accounts involved. One is a Umang account, it is a liability. Second one is a SBI account, and the third one is discount. So we posted into 3 different accounts. So this is how you, when you have a 2 or more accounts involved, this is how you have to generalize the transactions and post them into separate or different ledger accounts. So it appears to be very tedious to create so many of ledger accounts, but with the advent of information technology and computerized accounting, Simply once you create or once you generalize the transaction, automatically the transactions will go into concerned ledger accounts. So but even to design that computer program or to understand how actually your accounting packages work, you should know how to generalize the transactions and what are the two accounts or more accounts involved in each transaction, which account is to be debited, which account is to be credited, and then how those transactions will move to the ledger account. This basic understanding is very much required. So this is the core idea of explaining you ledger postings in two different lectures. In one lecture it is a basic ledger postings, and in this lecture it is a advanced ledger postings. But by this time you may be clear or familiar that your generalizing transactions and ledger postings all revolve around your rules of debit and credit and the 5 core accounts which are involved, that is assets, liabilities, then owner's equity, revenue and expenditure, and their related rules of a debit and credit. So if you are familiar with this, then creating or generalizing a transactions and posting a ledgers is very easy one. Thank you for watching my lecture. In my next lecture I'll show you how to balance these ledger accounts. As of now we didn't balance any ledger accounts, simply we posted journals into ledgers, we didn't balance. So balancing is one important aspect in accounting. In my next lecture I'm going to show you that. Thank you, see you soon.